Saludos familia de Puerto Rico, les habla su presidente de la plataforma de Todos sobre Lucha Libre, Jesús. Y hoy tenemos otra entrevista en inglés, esta vez con Michael Sean. Hello Michael, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Okay, where are you from, Michael?
Stockton, California.
Okay, why did you want to become a wrestler? Why do you become a wrestler?
Ever since I was a little boy, watching The Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man, it's all I ever wanted to do was be a professional wrestler.
How many times have you become a wrestler? Months, years?
20 years now. I started when I was 15.
Okay, so Michael Sean, is that your real name or that's a wrestler name?
No, that's my real name. My name is Michael Sean. My middle name is Sean. I'm named after Shawn Michaels, actually. My dad was watching AWA, and the Rockers came out, and he said that's his name. His name's Michael Sean.
Okay. Who teach you to wrestle?
Gangsters and Brian Brigger. Brian is most famous for having his boots lit on fire by Papa Shango back in the day, and then Mustafa obviously was in ECW and with New Jack and tag team champions with New Jack and ECW.
So do you like hardcore matches?
I hate them actually, but I'll do them if the money's right. But they're not my favorite now.
Well, you mentioned ECW. You know that ECW was always hardcore.
Not always. I mean, they had Benoit, they had Guerrero, they had Malenko, they had Chris Candido, they had Shane Douglas as their top guy. It wasn't always hardcore, but they had hardcore elements, yeah.
Okay, let's remind the first day you entered into a ring. How was your emotions that day?
I was asked this the other day because I train kids. They asked me the same thing. Honestly, it was like completing myself. I know that sounds weird, but like the minute I stepped in the ring, I knew that's where I belonged. It's all I ever wanted as a kid. I was 15. I was a kid, but I knew like the minute I walked in that ring that this is where I belong. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Okay, what do you like, baby face or a heel?
I'm definitely a heel. I can do both, but I don't like being a baby face at all. I just feel like I'm naturally a heel. It's easier to be a heel.
Okay. Do you belong to any company right now, or are you an independent wrestler?
I'm an independent wrestler. I wrestle all over. I'm mostly in Northern California, but I was just in Kentucky. I'm on my way to Texas, Utah. I wrestle in Nevada a lot. SoCal every once in a while, but mostly Northern California.
If you can have a dream match, no matter if you win or lose that match, with whom would you like to be that dream match?
Shawn Michaels is my idol, so it'd be Shawn Michaels, for sure. I think that's everybody about my age's favorite guy. Him and Brett, Shawn and Brett definitely. Macho Man would be cool too.
Okay, so right now, how many titles or how many recognitions have you received in these 20 years of career?
I couldn't even begin to count, to be honest with you. I was just currently the TWF heavyweight champion. I'm still the Lucha Patron light heavyweight champion. I'm 1/5 of the tag team champions in CWA and in TWF because I have a group called the 209 Click, and we do the Freebird rules, and there's 5 of us. So I'm 1/5 of the tag team champions in both companies. I don't know. I have a bunch of belts here and there, just spread all over the place.
Is there a title you wish you can win, and so far you cannot? So far, it feel like you didn't have the chance to win it.
Um, the WWE title, obviously. I mean, that's the belt. I would love to go to the NWA and become the NWA champion. That belt is probably like the most prestigious. I know WWE is the belt now, but the NWA title was held by everybody: Dusty, Flair, Harley Race, Terry Funk, Chris Candido is one of my favorite of all time. He had the belt. I know it wasn't like the same prestige when Chris Candido had it, but to say that I had the belt that Chris Candido had would probably mean a lot to me. I don't know. The NWA title would be cool to have.
If you could have the opportunity to join any big league on the United States, but they told you, "Hey, I want you to change your character." Would you do it or not?
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I mean, it's your dream. You know what I mean? As a kid, that's all you want is to go to WWE or to TNA or NWA or MLW or AEW. I mean, it's to make the goal to be a professional wrestler is to make money. So I don't care what I have to do that. That's what I want to do. My dream is to live off of this, and so far I've done pretty well. But I mean, to make it to those places, I would never like my family would have money probably for the rest of my life. So I wouldn't. It doesn't matter to me what I would have to do that. You know what I mean?
20 years of career. How your family feel when you have to be gone for so long time of your home?
My wife hates it. Not gonna lie. But she understands. We got together when we were kids too. I was 17 when I met her, so she's been through it our whole relationship. She understands that this is part of it, and that who she married and what she's. I mean, my kids have grown up with their whole lives too, so they understand. But it's not easy. It never is easier. You know what I mean? But they understand that this is what Dad does, and that you'll see him in a couple days, but it's hard to leave sometimes. But they understand what Dad does.
Have you ever suffered any injury that you see your kids terrified, you see your kids saying, "Daddy, Daddy, I don't want you to go wrestling again."
Yeah, actually, I did a ladder match and I like got cut really, really, really bad. And I look over and my daughter's crying hysterically. She was like 8 or 9 years old at the time, and it broke me. And I like as soon as I got out of the ring, I rolled to her and said, "I'm okay, I'm okay, okay. I promise you, I'm okay." And she's just crying, and it was hard, but she was okay a little bit later after she knew Daddy was okay. But it was scary. It was traumatic for her.
So you maybe think that that is going to be the reason for no more hardcore matches?
I want to say that. I, I mean, they pay well, but they're not my favorite. They pay really well, so it's hard to say no to them.
Okay, they pay well when you have a hardcore match?
Yeah, they pay more
Okay,
because
okay.
and it's not. I don't do it for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you describe your style in wrestling?
I'm very old school heel. I wrestle more like a 1980s, 1990s wrestler, not this flippy crap you see today from AEW and stuff like that. I don't do any of that. I'm very like methodical. Like I've been called like the Bret Hart like of our area. That I very like pick a body part and work it, and that's pretty much my style.
So far, have you ever talked in Spanish or not?
Never, no.
Never?
I live in Northern California, which is weird, but I mean, I understand it because I have friends and stuff that speak Spanish, and they try to help me, but I'm not very fluent in it. No.
It would be great if you have an opportunity here in Puerto Rico to have a
Yeah,
match.
Puerto Rico. I would love to go to Puerto Rico. That's something I really want to do. Um, if I could ever get to Puerto Rico, that'd be amazing. Because Candido was there, and a lot
Mhm.
of guys. The Colones are there, and Brody was there. Flair. It'd be great to go to Puerto Rico for sure. All the history that Puerto Rico has.
Mhm. How about Mexico?
Mexico would be cool too. I'm talking to a promoter right now to go to Mexico. I just have to get my passport in order, and I think I'm going to Mexico within the year.
And how about New Japan?
That's not really my style, to be honest. I like New Japan wrestling. Don't get me wrong, but um, it's cool. I like Noah a lot more. I have friends that are Noah right now. Titus Alexander, Jaya Jewel, they're out there right now. I don't know. I would. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would go to New Japan if they called me tomorrow and said, "Hey, we want you," but um, it's not really my goal. I've always like American wrestling, and that's my goal is to be out in America and wrestle in America. I have friends that their goal is to go to Japan, and mine has never been that.
I really hope that someday you can come to Puerto Rico and show us how you wrestler. So here in Puerto Rico, they're good, very good wrestler here.
Yeah, I would love to. I would jump on a plane. I mean, I don't think you need a passport to go to Puerto Rico either because it's America. So I would do it tomorrow.
Oh
Maybe I'll
my.
start. Maybe I'll hook up. Maybe I'll talk. You guys got promoters? Let me know. Um, I would come out there.
Some promoters saw this interview, so maybe somebody here in Puerto Rico are seeing this interview, and maybe they say, "I'm interested in this guy." So would you
So,
say yes?
oh yeah, oh definitely. I would get on the first plane to Puerto Rico.
What is your next match? When? Where?
I wrestled last night, and then my next one I think is next weekend. I think it's in Stockton, maybe. I think it's in Stockton or Sacramento. I don't know. I just I have the calendar and I'm like, I'll go here this weekend. I wrestle every weekend, so it's hard to like keep up with them all. But I'm wrestling next weekend for sure.
20 years of career. Have you ever think about the possibility of say I quit?
Um, yeah, I have. There's been times where I want to be done, but I love it too much. Like I have friends that have retired, and then they come back like 6 months later. I'm like, that's what's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna say I'm retired, and then I'll end up coming back. You don't ever retire from professional wrestling. Professional wrestling retires you. Like that's a quote I heard a long time ago, and it's very true. Ric Flair's 105 years old, and he's still trying to wrestle today. Terry Funk was basically wrestling up until he went to the nursing home. I mean, you don't ever retire from professional wrestling. It retires you until you die, basically, because it's always in you. To be that high, you can never get anywhere else. You can do all the drugs in the world, but you can never get the high of performing in front of somebody. It's not. There's no equivalent to that.
But you don't have any dangerous injuries that maybe it would be the cause of saying I'm gonna leave wrestling?
Luckily, no, not yet. No, I mean, I've had like you know little injuries here and there, but nothing to where I had to walk away or take time off. Really, I think the longest I've taken off is 2 or 3 weeks. I rolled my ankle. I couldn't walk on it for a little while. Other than that, I've been right back at it.
Okay. How can you describe your wrestling style?
I'm very like Shane Douglasy. I'm very methodical, very old school wrestler. I'm not into the flippy stuff. I can. I don't want to. I feel like that it shortens your career. I think that if you do all, and my philosophy is a guy who's ever done a 450 has never drawn money in his life. You can do it, cool, but you don't make money that way. Ricochet is the example that he just WWE and just and he became a star because he learned how to wrestle, not just do all the flips and stuff. Will Ospreay too. Will Ospreay used to do all that stuff too. Now look at him; he's a totally different wrestler.
Well, you can see Chris Jericho. I mean, he was great. Suddenly, he have failed a lot.
Yeah, well, he's old. He's almost 60 years old. But Chris Jericho made a big impact. But he never did flippy stuff, really. He did the Lions. He didn't do like 450. He didn't really come off the top like that. He did springboards and stuff, but it's kind of like what Shawn Michaels did, just a next generation of what Shawn Michaels did. He didn't really do stuff that ends your career, really. He just innovated stuff that like guys like Ricky Steamboat were doing and Randy Savage were doing. He really wasn't doing the stuff you see today where guys are jumping off of freaking basketball courts and doing 440s and trying to kill themselves and
Mhm.
flips for flips. He always had psychology to what he was doing.
Just to inform you that maybe you passed from somewhere and your video is freeze, but I can hear you very well. So, if people want to try to reach you through social media, how can they do it?
Uh, on Instagram, Michael F and Sean. And then that's it. I only have an Instagram.
Okay, there's no problem. Okay, I see you right now. Okay, any message for your fans? I know that maybe you should have a couple of them.
I have a few. Actually, not really. They all hate me. I want them to know that the 209 click is for life. That we're taking over all of professional wrestling, not just in California. We're taking over everything. We're got Hernandez from the LAX. He's now a part of 209 click. We're taking over. We're gonna be we're gonna be big. I have a feeling we're gonna be on a TV screen near you very, very, very soon. CJ Dirt, Michael Shawn, and Matt Freeman are gonna be the next big thing of professional wrestling. I honestly believe that.
Que mi gente, Michael Sean, estilo old school. Esperemos verlo alguna vez en Puerto Rico, México, Estados Unidos. Vamos a ver. Nosotros estamos en YouTube, nuestro canal. Le das ahí, le das a campanita, le das a todo. Recibe notificaciones de todos los videos. Estamos en Facebook, la página, estamos en el grupo y en Instagram. Thank you very much for your time, Michael Sean. I know you're having a great day today. Today is Father's Day. Wish you the best of the best. And in the not so far future, we will contact you again for another interview. For today, thank you for your time and a hug from Puerto Rico.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.